The sun had long set over the quiet town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I found myself driving on Route 62, a lonely, desolate stretch lined with ancient trees that loomed like silent spectators in the winter night. The snow, freshly fallen, blanketed the landscape with an ethereal purity, reflecting the scarce light from the sporadic street lamps. I was on my way home from a grueling late-night shift at the hospital. The town had receded into a mere silhouette in my rearview mirror, leaving me with nothing but the hum of the car engine and the vast darkness around. Despite being a man of science, a doctor with years of experience in the medical field, I couldn't shake off a creeping unease. This stretch was infamous for sightings of a monstrous creature known as the Mothman, a local legend I had dismissed as a mere byproduct of an overactive imagination. However, that cold winter night, something felt different. An uncanny sense of dread hung in the frosty air, making my skin prickle with a primitive apprehension. As I ventured deeper into the desolate road, a sudden unshakable sensation of being watched overcame me. It was a feeling of an unseen, malevolent entity lurking in the darkness, biding its time. My heart pounded in my chest like a war drum, and I felt an icy shiver trickle down my spine. I glanced into the rearview mirror and was greeted with a sight that froze my blood. Two glowing red orbs levitated in the air, casting a ghastly illumination on the snow-covered road behind me. They were detached from any visible body, hovering like ominous beacons in the pitch darkness. My car slowed to a crawl as I struggled to process the unnerving spectacle. As I continued to watch, a sinister figure began to materialize around the orb. It was a shadowy silhouette, colossal and threatening, much larger than any man. It boasted expansive, bat-like wings that flapped eerily, distorting the air around them. The Mothman, the creature of local legend, had materialized before me. Disbelief and fear wrestled within me as the chilling reality of the folklore gripped my rational mind. Every instinct screamed at me to flee. I gripped the steering wheel so tightly that my knuckles turned white against the dim light of the dashboard. The car's interior seemed to grow colder as the overwhelming presence of the creature bore into me. It felt as if I had stumbled upon an abyss and had inadvertently drawn its attention. The creature's penetrating red gaze held mine, and for an agonizing moment, it felt as if time itself had frozen. Suddenly, the creature swooped down with terrifying agility, its wings folding around its enormous form. An unearthly screech ripped through the silent night, echoing off the mountains and causing the car to tremble. I could feel it resonate in my bones, a sound so primal and fearsome that it tore through any semblance of courage I had left. Adrenaline replaced rational thought, and I floored the accelerator. The car lurched forward, tires skidding on the snowy gravel before finding purchase. The engine roared in protest as I pushed the car to its limits, desperate to escape the horrifying apparition. As I dared to glance in the rearview mirror, I saw the Mothman standing in the middle of the road, watching my frantic departure. Its red eyes slowly dimmed until they were indistinguishable from the surrounding darkness. As its figure receded into the distance, the heavy dread that had gripped me began to dissipate, replaced by a shaky relief. The encounter had changed me irrevocably. I, a man of reason and logic, had come face to face with an entity that defied explanation, a creature deeply rooted in supernatural folklore. That night, the Mothman had forced me to reevaluate my perception of reality. I realized that the world wasn't as black and white as I had once believed it to be, that there existed entities that remained hidden in the shadows of dismissed tales. The chilling memory of my encounter is etched into my mind, serving as a constant reminder of the terrifying existence of such entities. Every glance into the rearview mirror brings back the haunting image of the glowing red orbs, the terror I felt, and the chilling screech that still echoes in my ears. I know now that the darkest tales we tell are not always figments of imagination. They may indeed hold a terrifying reality.